What's up, guys? So we have a new Super Evolution, but before, I'm not going to really talk about that because you guys, most people pretty much know what to do with the Super Evolution. The new Succubus Lilith Evolution is pretty nice because there are quite a few Succubi or Succubuses that are actually pretty good. So if you don't have a fire one yet, that would probably be a good one to make. But outside of the fire, I do want to talk about the limited light dark packages that they have out right now. So the packages really are for someone who's willing to whale. They are fairly expensive, but I thought I'd talk about the skill sets of the light and dark Succubus in case you do have the funds and you think you want to buy one but you're not sure. It's actually better probably that they did it this way, where you could directly buy the light or dark one as opposed to some of the other specials that they try to run, where you'll get a random light or dark if you spend so many number of Astro Gems, or if you spend so much money. Sometimes they've run it where if you spend so much money, you might get a random light or dark, which is terrible because usually one of them is much better than the other one, and so people can waste money that way. So guys, if you did want to whale but you weren't sure which one is the best, I'm going to talk about their skill sets right now. Unfortunately, last year at this time they did run, or maybe it wasn't this time, but it was around this time, they ran the light Succubus, and you could actually use Astro Gems to buy it. Unfortunately, I didn't do that. I wish I had now, but I didn't. And that's because light Succubus is probably one of the best PvP monsters that you can get. She's extremely useful in when you play in a PvP, but that's life. You sometimes you miss stuff. But to take a look at her skill sets, let me just find it here. There she is. Okay, so to take a look at light Succubus's skill sets, so she's got a 10% moral boost, but she has a 100% chance to restore 10% of all of your allies' SP, which is great, especially because it is not crit dependent. So since she's not a crit dependent monster on her first skill, you don't have to kind of take away some of her tankiness in order to make her useful, which is always nice. And she's got a heal on her second skill and adrenaline skill, which is great as well. So when you have this type of monster, she will boost all of your other PvP monsters. She'll boost their SP so that they can get their active up much faster. And when they get their active up, the faster they get their active up, the more damage generally they're going to do. And now, one comparable monster to her, but slightly different, would probably be, the Wood Nightmare. So the Wood Nightmare also has an adrenaline skill on her second attack, but she doesn't have the, she only boosts herself. So if you could actually kind of pair the two together if you wanted an overheal on your PvP team, and that way you would increase the boost of your Wood Nightmare, and you have the opportunity to get 2 heals off very quickly between your Nightmare and your light Succubus. So that's the quick and dirty of it, guys. Light Succubus is a great monster to have. And just to take a look at dark Succubus. So dark Succubus is not terrible. Unfortunately, I've seen people in PvP actually use her very well. Unfortunately, she does have 2 sleep skills. And when you place this type of monster on an auto team, which most PvP defense is, which all PvP defense is, you run the risk of your other monsters waking up the monster that the Succubus attacked. And all that comes down to basically animation times, and every monster has a different animation time. It's just a quirk of this game where you actually have to account. It's hard to account for it, but animation time does play a role for a number of skills, and sleep unfortunately is one of those, especially if you can't control it. Now if you can control it, then you can fairly easily use sleep in the same way that you would use you know, another crowd control attack like shock or stun or petrify. You know, but you know, outside it, but it is very difficult to use it on auto. But yeah guys, so you know, we do have the Super Evolution, and if you have the money and you were looking to buy one, I'd never tell you guys to actually buy something. I just want to tell you guys whether one is better than the other. Then I would definitely, so if you were looking to buy one, I would definitely invest in the light Succubus. Unfortunately, you know, the light dark eggs we have are pretty terrible with getting what you want, you know. So whenever you can, if you have the ability to directly buy something you want, you know, that's why it's called whaling, right? But yeah, so light wins out, guys. She's a great monster to have. We can now super evolve them, so people who already have her, they're in a great position to have a very tanky healer and SP game on their team. So yeah guys, that's all I had. I know my videos are sporadic, but if you like them, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.